So 5 function operations. So what am I asking you to do? I have f of x equals 3x plus 4 and g of x equals x squared minus 5x plus 2. What am I asking you to do right here with this example? Add the two. Okay, so f plus g. And in the book it's written like this, but they should have f plus g of x. They could also have f of x plus g of x. Those are the same, just two different ways to write this notation. Okay? So f is 3x plus 4 plus g, which is x squared minus 5x plus 2. So what would I do from there? Combine like terms. So I have x squared minus 2x plus 6. Now, is that an equation or an expression?
That is an expression.
That is an expression. It doesn't have an equal sign. So can I solve it?
If it factor.
But can I solve it?
No.
No. No, factoring is just factoring. And the factors of 6 don't add to 2, so you couldn't factor it. You could use the quadratic formula.
I don't like
No, I'm scared.
What?
Put it back in your pocket. Or no, you were staring at it. Okay, just stop. Okay, so you cannot solve this, so don't solve it. I don't want to see x equals whatever, because it doesn't say solve. No. Okay, on your test, it's going to say perform the operation. That's all it's going to say. If I want you to solve it, I'm going to say what?
This is all we're doing.
Solve. No. Okay, so what's the next one tell me to do? Subtract. So we have 3x plus 4 minus g. Why did I put a parenthesis?
Because you distribute the
negative.
We're going to have to distribute the negative. And I didn't put one. Could I have put parentheses over here? I could, but does it make any difference? No. So I have 3x plus 4, bless you, minus x squared, bless you, plus 5x minus 2. Then what? Combine like terms. What do I get?
X negative x squared.
Plus 8x minus, plus 2.
Okay. So this is f minus g of x, correct? What if I tell you g minus f of x?
Just do it the other way.
I do the other way. So I would have x squared minus 5x plus 2 minus 3x minus 4. What did I skip?
Nothing.
Well, I did skip, but I just distributed, right? But I distributed, didn't I?
Yeah.
Do I need to write it out?
No,
No,
you're good,
it's
you're good.
fine.
Okay. So x squared minus 8x minus 2. Why are these not the same?
Because they're not the same.
Because its operation
has
is
one.
flipped. I don't know.
It's like
The equations are flipped.
just distributing.
What operation did I do?
F and G.
What
Subtract.
subtraction? Is subtraction commutative?
No.
No, I can't move it any way I want. Is addition commutative? Yes, because 3 plus 4 is the same as 4 plus 3, yes? Now, I'm going to tell you this is just a coincidence that this ended up opposite signs. That is just a coincidence. It won't always happen that way. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So don't notice you did it the wrong way and just change the signs thinking it will work. Questions on those?
We'll be right back.
Do you need to pay attention what is first and second on the subtraction? Yes. And again, this should have had an x behind it, or you can also have f of x minus g of x, like that. This is the way I like to write it, but they mean the same thing. Carson, you good?
Yeah.
Everyone else? Okay, so we've done all that. Here's 2, do them. Or do you need to do them? No? Okay. So, what does it say now? Divide. Okay? It doesn't say which one, which is kind of frustrating. Do you need to pay attention when it says divide? Because division doesn't matter. Yes, division is not commutative. Is multiplication commutative?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so divide means to divide, right? So since it didn't tell me, we're just going to say assuming this, right? So I have x minus 7 over, and what should I do with the denominator?
Factor.
I should factor, right?
Yeah.
So factors of 14 that have a difference of,
14 minus 1.
so negative 14 plus 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so factor it. Finish it. When I say finish it, that means either you know how to go directly from your x to your factors, or you go through the whole factoring by grouping. But you have to be able to factor one of those two methods. Got me? Okay, now, parentheses here, what can I do?
Reduce
you
x
can-
minus
Yeah,
7.
reduce it.
So 1 over 2x plus 1?
Yep.
And if it asks for excluded values, so x cannot equal negative 1/2 or
1.
7?
Where'd you get 7?
The first.
The f-
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep.
Wait, how, can you do that?
Hmm?
Where do you get 1/2 and 7?
2x plus 1. Equals
Okay.
0.
Can't divide by 0, right? Okay. Anytime you do division, be ready for them to say state excluded values, state domain, or state restrictions. Excluded values, restrictions, or domain, are they all the same thing? Yes. Okay, so now what am I going to do on this one? It's divided by, right? So what am I going to do?
Factor.
Factor. Factors of 18 that have a difference of 3, and we have a 1, so we can go straight.
6.
So
X plus 3x. Wait, no. Which one would be? Minus.
No, it's x plus 3
it's x plus 3. Why is it plus 3 minus 6?
because of the negative 3.
Because of the negative 3.
That's what I meant to say.
Okay, are you always going to be able to reduce? No. Should you always factor? Yes. Okay, so now my answer is x minus 6, and x cannot equal what?
Negative 3.
Negative 3.
That's all we're doing.
Nope.
It's always 1.
Okay, last one. What are you going to do?
Factor.
Factor.
Negative.
To what?
2
Negative 3, 2.
Negative 3, 2.
I'm glad I'm backwards.
Yeah, you were backwards on all of them. You know why it's negative 3, right? Okay, why? You're just saying them backwards? Okay, so I get 1 over x plus 2. And x cannot equal what?
Negative 2, 3.
Negative 2, 3.
Negative 2 and 3, because we have to go back to this right here, correct? Okay, so is this different than what we've been doing?
Yeah.
No.
No. Did you combine, did we already add? Yes. Did we already subtract? Yes. The only difference is we are now in function notation. This is function notation right here, guys. That's it. Okay. Now we're going to move into something new. Okay, so we're going to have composite functions. What does it mean to be a composite? If something is a composite chemical, what's it mean?
Different things.
It's made of different things, yes? Okay, so the ones we had before, we just had F plus G. Now, what did I do? I put G of X into what? F.
That means
So I'm putting this whole function, because it was F of X. So x turned into what?
G of X.
G of x. So in f, every time there's an x, it's going to change to g of x. So f of x is x squared, and g of x is x plus 1. So this x is going to turn into g of x, which is what? X plus 1. We're going to do this. We're going to do this first up here, sorry. So I'm going to have f of g of x equals x squared, but what's x now?
-1.
What's
X
x?
plus 1.
X plus 1. So I have x plus 1 squared. Okay, so we start with f of x. What did x turn into? G of x. So every time I see an x in f of x, it's going to turn into what? G of x. And what is g of x? X plus 1. So what does this say to do now? X plus 1 what?
X plus 1 squared.
Squared. And we know that means I got to FOIL it out, right? And if you know your patterns, I square the first. I multiply the two together and times 2, so it would be plus 2x plus 1.
Yep.
Okay? So now what's changed over here? From here.
X plus 1, X plus 1.
No, from here. This says f of g of x. Now it says what?
FG of 3.
F g of 3. So now my x's turn into what?
A 3.
3.
So 3 squared, 9.
3 squared.
Plus 6
My,
plus 1.
is it plus? Plus 2 times 3 plus 1. So you were just skipping ahead. I'm just putting in detail. Does everyone see what happened?
Yeah.
We're going to start at the beginning. F of x, what x turn into?
X plus 1.
G. So we had to plug it in. And now we're doing f of g of 3. So the x's become now what? 3's. So I have 9 plus 6 plus 1.
16.
So 16.
I don't like
Oh, we have f of g right here. Okay, so let's do g of f. So we said this was x squared plus 2x plus 1, right? Let's do g of f of x. You think it's going to be the same?
No.
Okay. So this tells me that every x in g becomes
Wait,
the f.
shouldn't it be- There's multiplication. Shouldn't
No, it's not multiplication. We're plugging it actually into it.
Oh.
So this
So it's X.
This is x. That goes in for that x right there. Yes?
Yeah.
So it's going to be x squared plus 1. Are those the same?
No.
No. Because f of g of x gave me a trinomial, didn't it? And then g of f of x gave me x squared plus 1.
Why wouldn't it be X cubed?
Because this x and g just becomes that x. We're not multiplying. It replaces it. So that means g of f of 3 is what? 3 squared plus 1, which is 10. Is composite functions, composition of functions, composite, composition, compose, all the same thing. Is that commutative? Can I switch it and get the same answer?
Well, you just said no.
Well, did I prove that it's not? Okay. So do you have to know which one is going into which one?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now, do you think you can can I keep going?
Maybe.
Could I do like f of g of h of I of k of x?
Sure, but would you want to do all that?
Let me see. 1, 2, 3. I think I got an extra one, but that's okay. So if I did this, where would I start? Clear over where? K. So k goes into I. Then that answer goes into h. And then that answer goes into G. And then that answer goes into F. Now, you're probably not going to have to do that. You might have to do 3. But all you do is start on the far inside and keep going where? Keep going backwards. Can you do them all at one time? That is a no. Got me? So let's do another one. Okay, so this one has f of g of 2 first, but wouldn't it make more sense to do f of g of x and then plug in the 2?
Yeah.
Yep, so we're going to do this one first. So what's that tell me to do? Put g in for x and f of x. So I have 2x minus 1. Well, what's x going to become?
3x.
3x.
So 2 times 3x minus 1.
So it'd be 2 times 3x minus 1. Because f of x turned into f of what? G. And what is f of g? 3x. It only replaces the x. Did it change the 1? The negative 1? No. So what is 2 times 3x? 6x. So I get 6x minus 1. So now what does this tell me to do? Change that x to a what? 2. So that gives me 6 times 2 minus 1, which is what? 11.
I've been wearing this all the time.
Focus now. Okay. Does that make sense how that works?
Yes. Can't yell at me. I'm the only one answering questions.
Okay. So, right here is important to know. F of g of x is the same of f composed of g. What do you notice about that circle? Is it closed? No, it is what? Open. So this means what? That. I do not like using f composed of g. Hate it. When you guys write it, I hate it even more because it looks like this.
Multiplication. Log.
Because you don't make it small. Okay, or I get this, which is a completely different thing. Because I enclose the circle, right? But it is notation. You do see it. You see it a lot, actually. I don't know why, but you do. So that open circle means composed. So are these problems any different than the ones I just did? No. So let's do them. So I've got f composed of g. So g is going into where? G is going in where? Into f for the x. So I have f of x is the square root. So I put the square root of x. But what is x now?
Let's find.
It says f composed of g of x. So g of x is going into f. So what is x?
2x minus 5.
So I have 2x minus 5 plus 7.
Combine. So 2x minus
2x plus 2.
2. You right.
And you're done. That's it. So what's this one say to do? Put f into what? G? So that means 2x, but what's x now?
X plus 7. Square root of x plus 7.
So the square root of x plus 7 minus 5.
Yep.
Can I simplify that anymore?
No.
No, because of that square root. You can't distribute into a square root. You can't bring anything out. Now, is it very clear that these are not the same?
Yeah.
So I want you to do the next one on your own.
Please stop.
If you want to write it f of g of x, like both of them there,
That many parentheses.
well, that's up to you. I think that's why they use it. I don't know. I don't like the open circle.
Yeah, I'm lost.
Oh,
Every x of g equals x f. I don't know.
Every x in f,
Equals
it's
g.
g of x.
So I'll just put.
So parentheses
Four.
around the 4
X
minus
squared.
x.
No, it's 4 minus x squared.
Yeah, parentheses 4 minus x
4
squared.
minus
Why is it
x
squared?
plus
Because
2.
it's x squared in f.
I don't get it.
I don't even know how to square things.
City.
I'm just confused.
I don't like them.
Please stop.
No, you mean.
6 minus x plus 4 of x squared.
Use your parentheses so you know what you plugged in.
Okay, yeah,
Minus
yeah,
4x
I'm embracing it.
minus 4x plus 2x. No, wait, I don't know what I just did. X times x, what's that?
X squared.
So plus x squared. So 16 minus 8x plus x squared plus 6 minus x. X squared minus.
Can you stop talking?
No, I need to do this. Plus 20.
What'd
22.
you get?
What the hell?
X squared minus 9.
Jenna.
Is 22.
Well, we have to do the other one.
Oh, I got
Yes?
it right. Hey.
That's it.
Apparently, I can't add.
I'm not for sure.
Which one was quicker?
The one on the right.
The one on the right. So you should have gotten x squared minus 9x plus 22. Okay, so you have to remember to FOIL the 4 minus x. Okay, and then on the right, you just have to distribute a negative.
Why so fast?
And did I do that right? Yes. So negative x squared minus x plus 2. Questions?
No.
Give her homework.
No.
If you don't understand it, why would you?
Yep.
I know what. I literally got it right.